So today, before we get going with our crafting and whatnot, I did want to go over a few of the changes we've made to the Bleedzerker build because a couple of the aspects have been re-enabled. One of them is really good for us. The other one I've tried, it's not so good. We also changed a few things about our glyphs in our Paragon to help us reduce our cooldowns by quite a bit. So before we really get down to business, just bear with me guys a second. Bear with me. We're gonna do some work. Let me show you guys what we're working with. So as of the last video, I realized that we had the barrier on my helmet and I would rather have disobedience. The disobedience is not that great in terms of the actual roll on it, but the effect of it is really good. I want to buff my armor. I like that. You'll also notice that I swapped back into damage reduction while fortified. I tried the HP gems. I didn't like them as much. I still think I like damage while fortified better, especially because my HP isn't that huge. And apparently the gems scale off like your base HP or something that makes it like not as valuable. But regardless, I just felt better with the blue gems, so I just slapped them back in there. Something we're changing on the gloves. So before I was like, okay, we're just piecing some things together with the aspects that we had. And so I think it was like maybe crit, low health on the gloves, something weird like that. And it's like, okay. I tried Berserk ripping, didn't love it. So it should be good. I don't think we're muted. I don't think so. If the stream is muted, you might need to unmute. Thank you for the heads up though. You're gonna get some confirmation in the chat there. Don't troll me, boys. What we decided to do was put damage against bleeding enemies as a chance to stun them. So I've done this before, and I didn't love it, but I think I'm gonna try it again because we're not muted. Okay, great. Because we're doing a little bit higher nightmare dungeons now, and so I think I have like way enough offensive firepower right now, and what I'd like is actually some defense. And stun is a defense, and since Berserk Ripping is not that good, it combos well with our other thing that we're going to put on our other weapon, which is stunning a bleeding enemy deals a % of their total bleeding amount of them, or to them, as physical damage. So, again, from what I'm hearing, we may actually want to look into smiting for this particular effect. Smiting is ranged attacks have a chance to stun the ranged attacker, and then stunned enemies take a bunch more damage while stunned. So I have seen that before, but we don't have one right now, so keep an eye out for swapping over to that when we get a chance to do so. But that's kind of like the main change. We're taking off the overcapping your fury gives you more damage on your core skill, and going into stunning a bleeding enemy makes them bleed out, taking a chunk of their bleeding damage as physical damage. And we're going to be mostly only stunning due to lucky hits. We'll see how it goes. There's some crazy tech that I could eventually, if I get enough rage generation, I could actually drop Flay altogether, which would mean that we do lose our 10% extra bleeding damage on enemies and the chance to make them vulnerable. Like 20% chance to make an enemy vulnerable is kind of nice to have in case you need it. Like sometimes you get your exploit off, something just like gets hit by something and it's over in the corner, and you kill everything and then you come back to it and it's like a extra health minion, so it takes a little longer to kill because you don't have like a way to generate vulnerability besides just proccing up a lucky hit, which is kind of awkward. Flay was good in that situation, but what we could do is actually just swap to like Stomp on this to make them take more bleed damage, generate a little bit of rage for us, CC the enemy, have like AoE on a very short cooldown. That could be pretty fun. And one of the other things that would enable us to do that sort of stompery is a change that we made to our Paragon tree in the form of a glyph called Disembowel. So again, I'm a noob at this game. I'm just learning as we go. I love sharing things with you that I find out from me playing, or chat helping me learn as well. It's like a Twitch plays Diablo 4 situation going on over here. A lot of my glyphs are the same. However, with exploit, and then with we have this one too. We have Blood Feeder. But yeah, we took out Might because that was not really doing anything for me. It was just a glyph to have. But we put Disembowel in. Disembowel is actually huge. So what it does is, killing a bleeding enemy has a 10% chance to reduce the cooldown of your non-ultimate active cooldowns by 1 second. Your non-ultimate active cooldowns being all of your shouts. So, this build is huge about reducing the cooldown of your shouts. You have CDR on your gear, wherever you can get it. You have Martial, which helps pull your shouts off cooldown a little bit faster. Whenever you shout, it brings the cooldown down to the other shouts that are on cooldown. But Disembowel may even be like up there as like one of your first or second prio glyphs, along with like exploit. I think maybe exploit and disembowel probably should be like one of your first two, right? And then martial can happen later. Bringing your cooldowns down on your shouts is just absolutely vital, and this is probably like the best way to do it. So, including that, I definitely need to tell you guys about that one. So, yeah, we could do the Stomp or Earthquake Lego. We could. That's a fun one. It might even be more fun than the other one that we're using. But, yeah. I also like Blood Feeder, just another extra chance to crit. Damage against bleeding enemies, really insane. Like, really fun. I like that a lot. I still am sort of considering going towards Blood Rage. The thing about Blood Rage, though, is I'm Berserk so frequently anyway, because we also made a change to my boots. I think I forgot to tell you guys about that. The boots are actually huge. Damaging an enemy with a core skill has a 40% chance to extend the duration of Berserking by 1 second. Double this duration if it's a critical strike. That's actually kind of huge. Our Berserk uptime is wild right now, which means we're doing more damage, and we are moving fast, and then we're also benefiting from the extra Berserking duration and the extra Berserk damage that we deal on some of my gear, which is very, very nice. So, keep that in mind for your boots. I was using crit, gives you movement speed, just increasing your Berserking duration. I didn't even, like, think about this one. It's way better, right? So, yeah, it's important. But what I also did is I did decide to go ahead and put Edge Masters on my weapon. Skills deal up to 80% increased damage based on your available primary resource when cast. This and Ripping were not working for a little while because they had to be disabled because they were working too well. But they were, like, bugged. I put this on my one-hander. Could use this in the future, or we could use that ground stomp stun increased damage kind of deal. That'd be fine too. Everything else still the same as the other build. And by the way, if you guys are watching this video and wondering, okay, so what about the rest of the build? This is just sort of an addendum and update to the original Bleedzerker build, where we pretty much do the same thing with our talents, but the Paragons are going to be a little bit different. So what I'm enjoying doing is doing, you know, a series of build updates for you guys and updating it as we go, just to let you guys know what I'm up to, but also just sort of track the progress of the build. But I think that's one of the main changes. We made some changes to our helmet is now Disobedience. Gloves are now Lucky has a chance to, direct damage against bleeding enemies has a chance to stun them. Boots are extension of our Berserking uptime. And then one of my one-handers is stunning a bleeding enemy causes them to bleed out. That's all of that for the aspects. For the Paragon, once again, we swapped Might, which was not doing anything. It was kind of a placeholder anyway for a way better, like, Bis Paragon glyph called Disembowel, right? So doing more damage over time, and the main thing is reducing those cooldowns. Again, my next plan is actually not even to bother with Blood Rage because my Berserking uptime is so high. I didn't mind the damage to bleeding enemies and damage to elites. That's sick. We shred bosses already. Then shredding elites is even better in dungeons because we're pushing high Paragon. What I kind of want to do now is either go into... Now I want to go into Warbringer, either for Warbringer itself, or just to shoot for the glyph socket and have another glyph. We will see. I'm running out of Paragons, so it's like, do you even try to go get Warbringer for the Fortify? Like, that would probably be pretty good, because that would help with my Fortify a lot, and then I can change the aspect of my neck for like a really buff neck aspect, probably for healing. That would be cool. And then I could do the aspect where every 25% of your HP that you heal, you get like resource, which would be awesome. But anyway, we got options. That's what I'm thinking for the future. I don't want to dig into that too much because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But that's kind of my plan. The main thing I want to do is get you guys up to date on our aspects. So that'll get you squared away. Hope you guys are enjoying the Bleedzerker build. If you're playing it, hope you're enjoying the gameplay if you're watching it. Always streaming a ton over here on Twitch. It's actually 24/7. We do our normal stream schedule, and then whenever we would normally be offline, we have the replays rolling, so you can catch up on content you may have missed. You can earn drops from watching the stream for, you know, a couple hours, and you can also gift 2 subs to the stream to get this very cool looking mount, which is actually physically larger than every other mount in the game. So if you want to get this bad boy, then you can give 2 subs to the stream, which would be awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll get this video up for you guys so you can stay up to date. We got a big day of Diablo 4 planned on the stream today. Let's get to it.